Hello, John Ryman here from WDM, that's webdesignandmarketing.co.uk, here to help you get more of your ideal clients. Now, in today's video is one of my favourite topics, and we're going to be talking about lead generation systems. So let's dive right in and start with, what is a lead generation system? Well, it enables you to consistently bring new leads into your business that are already qualified for your service. Once you've implemented this, you'll have an automated lead generation system that works for you 24/7. So you don't need to do anything once it's set up, the leads will come to you. Now, I can't stress this last one enough. Too many businesses have a website that may look wonderful but isn't functional. Your website is more than just an online brochure or business card. You can use it as a tool to improve your business. So this is quite a big and complex topic, and I can't cover everything in one short video. So this is really an overview, and I'll give you options to find out more if you want to at the end of the video. So I've split this into 3 steps. It's the three-step system. The first one is creating your framework. The second is nurturing your potential clients. And the third is, of course, driving targeted traffic to your system. So let's start with creating your framework. Now, you're going to need a website for this. Hopefully you already have one. I say you need a website. You could go, there are services that will allow you to do this without having a website, but preferably have a website. You're going to need a lead magnet, we'll get to that, and an email sequence, a way of collecting and automating your emails. So personally, I tend to favour WordPress in most cases. There are a few exceptions, and WordPress I think powers around 35% of the web now. So generally, if there is a need or a problem, someone already has a solution. So that's my go-to option. However, there are of course others, and as long as your website has these capabilities, you will be fine. So you need the option to create and design new pages. You need a way to collect email addresses. So your website probably won't have this built in, but you need to be able to integrate it with a service that does. That sounds complicated, but generally it's fairly straightforward. It's a case of installing a plugin or copy and pasting some code that you're given. And you need to be able to insert a tracking code. Now, that sounds a bit scary, especially at the time of writing with all the things that are going on with Apple and Facebook, etc. But we're not talking about intrusive code that follows you around the web. We're talking about a way of knowing if you've opened an email, which emails you opened, or if you've bought a product, that we send you the right email. So if, for example, if you buy a product of mine on my website, I don't want to send you another email encouraging you to buy that product. I'd rather send you a thank you or something that might go with it. So this tracking code is simply to allow me to know which emails you've opened and to send you the right emails after that. Next, we're looking at your lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is, there's lots of names for it, but we'll stick with this. It's an offer of something which is usually free in exchange for your potential client or your lead entering their name and email address. Simple as that. So for your lead magnet, you'll need a landing page, which goes on your website, of course. You'll need an offer. We'll get to that. Something you can give them that they're willing to give you their name and email address. Can't talk properly today. And an email capture. So this is the service integration we were talking about in the website section, a way of capturing email addresses and using that information with permission. And of course, you need an email sequence. So this is about collecting that email address and automating the sending of emails. And that's sending the right emails at the right time. So the last thing you want, if you've got 100 people in your sales pipeline, the last thing you want to be doing is having to email each of them a sequence of emails. If you've got 4 or 5 emails in your sequence, it will be a nightmare. So these services allow you to automate that. So you need to be able to collect details and permission, as we discussed. You need to be able to send that email sequence. So for example, on day one, they will receive the free guide or whatever it is that they signed up for. Then a couple of days later, they may receive an email asking how they're getting on with it and if they need a hand. A couple of days after that, they might receive another email, and you will use this to build up trust and rapport with your lead or potential clients. And at the end of that email sequence, you will present them with an offer that they will hopefully be interested in because you've already demonstrated that you are a great fit for them. And you need to be able to segment subscribers. So I did just touch on this. It's simply a way of making sure that you send people the right email at the right time. For example, I have more than one lead generation system on my website. So if you've signed up to learn more about, let's say, lead generation systems, then you don't want to receive emails, certainly at the same time, about something else, whether it's an e-commerce website. So it just allows me to make sure that I'm sending the right emails to the right groups of people. So there's a link in the description to a blog post I've written on this, which goes into more detail if you're a little confused. Nurturing potential clients. This is where you're going to create your offer, and depending on the business you're in, you will need to get creative. So really, you need to offer them something that they are going to perceive as valuable. So think about what you could offer. So shortly, I'm going to show you an example of a lead magnet, of an offer that I have for people watching this video. Now, you can see what I'm doing there, but it's a good example of how this works. So it needs to be valuable enough that your potential client is willing to share their email address and receive emails from you, and hopefully enough that they're actually going to want to read those emails. And it needs to be relevant to the service that you will eventually offer them. Remember, I said at the end of your email sequence, you're going to present them with an offer. So your emails should be warming them toward that offer. So just as a few examples, it could be a free guide, an ebook, could be as simple as a discount coupon, a workbook, or even a webinar. So these are just a few examples, but you should offer whatever you feel will connect best with your visitors. So I said I was going to show you an example, so let's have a look. I'm just going to bring this into the screen here. Bear with me. So this is my offer for people who may be interested in lead generation systems. Hopefully you. Now, you'll see there, this is slightly different to most website pages in that I have no navigation here. Now, this is purely because I don't want any distractions. I'm trying to present them with something that requires their attention. And there are really two options here. They can either click to receive their free guide, or they can leave the page. Either is fine, because if they're going to leave the page, then they're not someone that's going to want to receive my emails anyway. So it's good. We'll call it a filter. So I'm not going to read every single thing here, but it simply says, does your business generate enough new inquiries? Now, many people reading this, they're probably going to be thinking, no, not at the moment. So they have the option to download a free guide. The next section tells them roughly what it is that I'm offering. Again, I won't read all this out. You're quite welcome to go and have a look yourself. I will put a link in the description. But it just lets them know that by having a lead generation system, they can improve their business without too much extra work once it's set up. And at the bottom, I've got a couple of testimonials. So when they click on the free guide, they'll be asked simply to enter their name and email address, and then they just simply click send me my free guide. So one thing I will mention here, because it's a mistake I see a lot in many business websites, if you read this content, you'll see that I don't actually talk about how good my business is and employees and the premises. I'm not promoting myself in any way, because until your lead has warmed to you and is considering your service, they're not really going to be interested in that. They want to know what's in it for them. So this is purely, if you read the content, you'll see it's more about what I can offer them, not what I'm capable of and what my business does. Simply what can they receive when they click this button. Anyway, moving back. So now we move on to traffic. Now, as I'm sure you know, traffic is a massive topic and I can't possibly cover it in one little video, so I'm just going to go do a basic overview here. So we're looking for targeted traffic, obviously, not just anything. So starting with paid traffic, we have banner ads, considered maybe a little old-fashioned now, but they have their place. We've all seen them. You visit a website and at the top of it is some banner for whatever it is, perhaps something you may be vaguely interested in. It depends where you place them. They can work. Next are video ads. We've all watched YouTube and had the video ads either at the beginning or in the middle of the video. Again, you may see them as annoying, but they have their place and they can work well depending on your business. Contextual ads. So this is if you're reading content, for example, an article on a website, and within the text there will be an advert. That's a contextual ad. Next, email ads. Now, this isn't talked about that much and can be really good, to be honest. If you have a business similar to yours, but where they're not a direct competitor, then you may be able to reach some kind of deal where they email their subscribers with an offer for you, and you may in return do the same for them. And you can both increase your business by doing that. Pay-per-click, well, I'm sure you've heard of it. Things like Google ads and Facebook ads, where you pay for each time someone clicks on the ad that you've created. So moving on to free traffic. So you can create YouTube videos or Instagram topics, etc. Just like I'm doing here. This is a YouTube ad, and I will back that up with a blog post, but we'll get to that. SEO. Now, it's very difficult to SEO an actual lead magnet or landing page because it's just not very well geared up to SEO. However, you can SEO your website and drive traffic from your website to your page. Next is a blog post. So, for example, I've already shown, I haven't shown you actually. So I also have a blog post based on lead generation systems, which I'm backing up with this video. Okay, so here is my lead generation blog post. These 3 steps will turn your website into a lead generation machine. Now, in this post, I go into a little more detail than this video, but it starts with what it's all about, and it has an index. You can go to all the relevant parts, and ends with a thank you and an option to go to download my free guide. So what I generally like to do is create a video like this one and back it up with a blog post, as I said. And if I'm doing paid traffic, rather than sending paid traffic direct to my landing page, I'll send it to the blog post, let them read about it and see what I can offer or what information I can give. And that's far more likely to warm them to what it is I'm going to offer, rather than simply, here, give me your email address and take this. So I tend to drive an ad to a blog post first, and then from the blog post encourage them to visit my landing page. So next, of course, is social media. I'm sure if you're a business, you probably have a Facebook page and perhaps some other social media pages. So of course you can use that to drive traffic to your offer. And professional networks such as LinkedIn or any industry specific networks related to your business. Now, this video is getting a little bit long. I don't want to go on any further. However, there are links in the description for more information. And of course, if you do want to download my free guide, there will be more info in that too. I hope that helped. Take care, and I will see you next time.